Round one begins.
I think the size of VITALI and also the
VITALI Klitschko is pretty. It's just effective.
But he's effective.
So far, another VITALI Klitschko whitewash. Now TOMASZ jumps inside.
Greatest asset. He's a tall man who fights tall.
Months ago, Vladimir Klitschko said,
he's maybe one of the toughest guys that's ever been in the heavyweight division as far as his mental makeup.
knocks ADAMEK back into the room. A lot of nervous energy from ADAMEK. Not many effective. Harold Letterman's phrase, ring generalship.
Wenn reinkommt, Schritt zurück und dann direkt. Weil unten stehen, zack, oder Aufwärtsarm, rechter Aufwärtsarm.
VITALI, even glazing blows have tremendous effect on
Round one. And here's another look at the right hand toward the end of the round. Well, Tommy box totals in round one. Klitschko 13 of 47. But that was just the first of the scheduled 12.
I don't think is going to fare very well at this distance. He's going to have to, as you mentioned,
Jack Dempsey may have been the hardest puncher.
Negate the advantage of VITALI. VITALI's out where he can't come back with a counter punch.
Well, when the Klitschkos first came along, but at the end of the day, it's their minds which have created the big gap in the division.
With Areola, you American guys want to compete against the Klitschkos, you're going to have to make that commitment.
A lesson Areola, incidentally, says he has learned better than it did a couple of years ago when VITALI roughed him up.
You know, in this round,
mix in some of his own punches with VITALI's thudding right-hand shot.
ADAMEK had no chance to win this fight on punches. The question is, how will he react to it?
So we talked about Michael Spinks going against Larry Holmes. At least Michael was a pretty good banker.
The good news for ADAMEK. The good news for VITALI Klitschko is that he's handled up to again win the round. And he crushes ADAMEK with that right hand. Almost knocked him down. TOMASZ ADAMEK has the guts of a burglar. He's going to need them all tonight. Ropes held him up. Right, Emmanuel?
He had a similar reach to Holmes, not that much shorter, and so he could box.
And I don't think he can do much more than that. The jabs eating him up, and after a while he'll be so preoccupied with the pace of a fight. One of the things that he and his brother does when they have a little never letting their eyes lose focus of the opponent. That's one of the things that both of them do very
With his
well.
opponent shows that his reflexes are extraordinary.
Yes, very, very, very.
Like this.
He does that just to get you to punch at him. Then he
Mayweather-Ortiz, Friday night, September 16 at 9 Eastern and Pacific. And stay tuned for 24/7.
He knocked him off his feet into the ropes. The ropes were holding up ADAMEK.
Isn't it probable that the three official scorers over there in Poland have it 30?
They could have called it 10-9. On the other hand, they do have the right to do what I did.
That's the telltale sign. Good right hand by ADAMEK, and the crowd do a quicker one, but at least it gives him a chance to be in the fight.
This is his only chance.
He's slowing it up tentatively, and therefore it's not landing.
The crowd is going in, but they're not landing that clean. I think longer than VITALI's.
He could do it in Ukrainian, he could do it in Russian, or he can do it the way he does. Round 5 of a scheduled 12. As we mentioned in the last round, ADAMEK clearly missed that jab.
But punching and fighting better and thinking better.
His first showcase in the United States was in Chicago in 2006. On the undercard of Lehman Brewster and Andrew broken into several pieces by a Briggs shot, and his blood for the entire 12 rounds while he was beating Briggs.
He's after recent years, never complaining. That's what he's known for, and that's what a lot of people see. That he's mixed up now. He shot a right uppercut, and then he went back with a jab. So he's got
fighting at his own pace, using brains as
okay. You see right now a beautiful jab, which was I think still been the signature punch in the fight. Right hand and left hook.
Step to the right. Yeah. Okay, if you step to the left, then use that jab.
That Vladimir's been fighting.
But VITALI is a very knockout record, but the record is basically in percentage off of him being so busy and systematic.
Kind of one-punch power that
won a real rough and tumble fight against a very explosive, dangerous.
The difference is Vladimir, you could have a party going on at a house with lights on it. Yeah, but VITALI is fragile. He looks less insecure the way he fights as compared to VITALI.
Oh, well, there's no question.
Queensland have not lost a fight in about 7 years around. They've positively cleaned out the heavyweight division.
Well, the debate, down goes VITALI Klitschko. It's hard to tell what happened. We need a replay to determine, was there a punch? That was Mrs. VITALI Klitschko standing up, we're told.
May have been the knockdown. He threw a right hand and got off balance.
That looked to me like
turned his right leg over, looked like it. He twisted it right there.
Very odd fall and get that foot off balance and ultimately cause tissue. He's had injuries to shoulders, knees.
If I was in that damage corner, I would tell him go all out there and fall down. He's trying to take it. Maybe something else wrong with his right leg.
Well, the question came up among our production troops. I don't either.
No. Just how much punishment can ADAMEK take?
And if ADAMEK does not really get caught right on the end of those right hands, as has been happening this
round. Criticized the referee Barabecchia for not ruling a knockdown in the second round when VITALI knocked incident in the last round that there had been no punch. ADAMEK looks very weary, getting jabbed around the ring.
It looked like mental fatigue is set in also.
Back in the day when Lennox Lewis was controlling the heavyweight division, George Foreman's greatest line when he was working with us, Emmanuel, this sport is easy. Telephone pole.
Very strong, stiff. He and Sonny Liston may have two of the stiffest.
Larry Holmes at times jabbed the same way from his hip in the fight.
Larry Holmes, one of the most underrated and unappreciated heavyweights in history.
Well, you saw the graphic for Bernard Hopkins against Chad Dawson. What's new? Now you see the target, now you don't.
Does not score the knockout here, and maybe he does right here, but if he doesn't, the first place for heavyweight championship KO percentage.
The referees get into position to stop the fight.
I don't see the point.
And it happened. Briggs wound up in a hospital. Wobbles back into the ropes after a jab. How much longer can ADAMEK stand up in the face of all this?
I think.
Yeah, he's not going to stop himself. That's it.
Good and the referee's going to do it. Excellent stoppage by the referee. Another knockout, again by accumulation. And that was against a guy who has made a spirited bid. Here's VITALI finishing him off.
Just too big and too good for this guy. But at this stage, he's mentally and physically quite sure he welcomed the stoppage himself.
Marciano went 49-0. Marciano's biggest title defense was against Roland.
He throws punches in combination, which is rare for a big athletic heavyweight. Areola fight. And Helenius is a lot bigger than all their recent Klitschko opponents.